Well, hello everyone. Here to show you the Swans Ice Cream coloring activity right here. As you see right here is like with swans, is that most of us, if most of us are familiar with that name title, is like with Swans Ice Cream. It is, and I think that more likely it's possible that they may still be in business. It is, but it's basically a company. You say a business, kind of say company. It is that they say they where they whenever we were family and I used to get them, it was that they would deliver ice cream. It was, and a lot of times that they would be delivered. A lot of times it's like not like really what you call it's like going to the grocery store and then getting an ice cream. It was that they would deliver directly to your address. It was, and a lot of times the trucks would be at about look like this right here, with Swans title on the top of it, on the side of say the truck right here, and maybe right here in the center too. But it would come to your address and of course deliver a box of ice cream a lot of times. And the boxes a lot that if I can remember right, that I think the boxes of ice cream were about I think about $8 $10 something like that a piece, something like that. It's like and then that they would deliver, I think, for about 1 month of for about 30 days of service. It was that it was about I think $15 $20. I think it was something like that, 45, maybe about $45 for like which say for 1 month of service it was. But basically that you would have like a box right here, and it would come with about I would say maybe at least there would be about maybe 8 ice cream bars, something like that. It would come. You would get like a box full of ice cream bars a lot of times. And knowing about it is like with the ice cream bars, I can remember that that they it would be kind of like that I think cookie crumb covered, I think was the name of it. The type of ice cream that a lot of times that they would deliver a lot of times. And knowing about that with the ice cream that they would deliver a lot of times, it was like that one of them was like the crunchy chewy kind, and then of course they may have had maybe other flavors. It was, but basically that the year I can remember getting Swans ice cream was about 1994. I think if I remember right, about early spring 1994 is whenever we had gotten the delivery. It was, and knowing about with the ice cream that they probably say about they had some pretty good ice cream. It was, and they would deliver, and then to the point where I don't know if it was because that they were closing a business or something like that to why we stopped getting them, or maybe just that they kept raising their prices, whichever it was, that more likely that we just that they would deliver for those couple times, and then apparently that they stopped getting them. And I really don't know the whole story. It's like from that, it's like background is knowing about, it's like for why we stopped getting them. But on the other hand too, that knowing about with Swans though, that they a lot of times that they would deliver ice cream, and with the ice cream though that they would have it to where that I don't know if they worked like that to where they would have order forms, that they would have forms that you would fill out to for whatever ice cream that you wanted. But the type of ice cream company that, if I can remember right, that each of us as a family, it's like we would each pick an ice cream, and then more likely that I guess that they had like what you call like different flavored ice creams. It was, and I really don't know. I usually got like the ice cream, the crunchy bars. It was, but I really don't know if they would have like I say ice creams like this right here, to where that a lot of times like the ice cream trucks. If most of us are familiar with like the ice cream trucks, they would go around the set of visions. It was, and then go like and then you would walk up there and then go ahead and get an ice cream. And I can just remember the sound of say an ice cream truck, and then pulling up, and then they would have it to where that you would be able to buy ice cream. It was, and a lot of times with the ice cream that you would walk up to the truck, and then you would of course, you would have to pay money at it. You know, a lot of times the kids would have cash a lot of times, and I can remember just walking up to the ice cream truck and knowing about the smell. Besides the smell, a little bit of gas, but the gas exhaust, you know, from the truck it was. But knowing about there would be somebody there that would stand up, you know, in front of the door of the truck it was, and then to assist you would say with an ice, it's like to hand you an ice cream, you know, after you paid for it. And knowing about that, I remember a lot of kids in the center vision, of course, would walk up to the ice cream truck when they would come by, and it was like, hey, you know, how's it doing? You pretty nice day outside. What ice cream do you want? You know, that type of stuff. And I'm sure most of us can maybe remember about, you know, the memories about ice cream, about the ice cream truck it was, is that, you know, the ice cream man it was. And I remember on those TV shows, especially on the TV shows, is they talking about this. Like I'm trying to remember the name of the TV show, but where the person who was trying to get an ice cream, apparently he just missed him after about maybe a few seconds, and then he was chasing the ice cream truck for about 4 miles, and by the time he finally caught the ice cream truck, it was like, well, that will be $1. And then he would turn his pockets inside out, and he was like, no, you don't have any money? Well, I'll be right back. But if I can remember right, I can't remember the name of the show. I don't know if it was a commercial or something. But anyway, but you have it right here. It's like basically that I could maybe tell a joke real quick, is knowing about you know, somebody who just missed the ice cream truck at about maybe a few minutes. It was about a few minutes, and then of course it's like you say, well, he comes by again, and then knowing about that, a lot of times they say that they only stop at the same place maybe about once or twice, you know, about every other day it is. And that knowing about, yeah, you just missed the ice cream truck, and then that knowing about that hey, you know, I think I'm gonna go ahead and you know, ride my bike, you know, right up the street it is, ride my bike and then try to see if I can catch him along along the, you know, the block, you know, a few blocks down it is. And then by the time the person walks up to the ice cream truck, and knowing about, hey, you know, how you doing? Like, hey, I want to buy. Oh, sorry, but we're out of that flavor. We're out of that size. Yeah, well, I tell you one thing that you know, well, but we could be able to work it out to where that you have the, you know, form ready. It's like you have the form where next time you walk up to the ice cream truck, that you'll be able to, is like you know, be able to know about that, you know, let you know about when a flavor's in stock it was. But anyway, but you have right here, it's like for Swans Ice Cream Truck, and a lot of times we could probably think about, from what we remember about the ice cream trucks it is like knowing about the you know, ice cream man it is, or it's like, so far as with swans right here, it's like right here is a swan bird right here. Was the swan bird that Mr. is like that with the swans bird that we had and drew right here, is that say you got right here is if it would be in the water, and of course, like, let's say a shadow, and I was thinking about, yeah, to draw the shadow first, and then after that, and then go ahead and add some more details right here. It's like for the shadow. But I guarantee that knowing about that with the cost of the ice cream, a lot of times the cost of the ice cream would be, I think, about, you know, $4. I think it was about $4 or something like that, you know, for like a box, to say, of ice cream bars. I don't even know if you could buy popsicles from the ice cream truck or anything like that, but I can remember it's like popsicles. You know, I used to eat them a lot, and knowing about anybody who probably thinking about that yeah, you know, it's like a lollipop. You know, but people think about that yeah, it's like you have it to where they have like a little swan, you know, kind of figure. It's like on a popsicle stick it is. like talking about it's like was icy cold popsicle it was, and then knowing about whatever flavor that you want to have it was with that popsicle, and if anything, maybe people probably think about that yeah, if you were to maybe have an ice cream like that, if like that would be like what you say is like an ice cream, and maybe put something in the center. It was maybe a Tootsie Roll or anything like that, a Tootsie Roll, or if anything, maybe blackberry, flavoring it was. It's like just like I say, like a blow pop, or any type of a Tootsie Roll pop. It was. It's like that you would lick the ice cream until you came to the center. It was, and it knowing about hey that it's like you talk about right here. It's like with most ice creams. And more likely that I could probably think about that yeah, well, what will make that maybe that ice cream a little bit more popular is knowing about if you want to put anything in the center, such as what you call is like anybody probably thinking about is like yeah that marshmallow flavoring, or if it's what you say the Jolly Rancher crunch or anything like that, knowing about if you want to put anything in the center or maybe anything on the side or anything like that, but. The flavors, of course, that I liked, of course, a lot of times were like maybe you say Oreo cookie. I think Oreo cookie seems like has always been my favorite kind of type of of a flavor. It was so far as crunch, or if it was like what you call like just in the center, like in the center of it. If anybody will probably say about if it was what you call like what they call sherbet, or if it was I think strawberry shortcake. I think strawberry shortcake was another flavor that they had also. But anyway, with the types of ice creams though, I can remember that it was say the memories for Swans Ice Cream it was, and that knowing about anybody would probably think about with Swans Ice Cream is I don't they may still be in business too. And on the other hand too, that knowing about that people probably think about that between the difference between buying something like this at the store and then of course ordering directly from the company it was. And people probably think about that really. You can't buy them from the store because on the other hand too, that knowing about that people may think about, well, the company, they make it, by scratch, they use real ice cream, compared to in the grocery store, that, they may not use, all that 100%, ice cream, or, anybody might say that yeah, well, maybe if they're allergic to something or, anything like that, or maybe that they can't eat, so, it's too cold, man, it's too cold, or, the ice cream is not that fresh, or whatever it is, but if I can remember right, that yeah, Swans Ice Cream, by any place that more likely that that would be able that would sell ice cream, it is, and knowing about that if it's ice cream or if it's if we're talking about Girl Scout cookies, it is that knowing about that if you were to buy like pizza or anything like that, and be like that, what's the difference between the company. Say the company cookies or the company ice creams or anything like that, the candy bars, or what is the difference between the sodas and then of course the ones that you buy at the store, and more likely that you probably think about the ingredients. It's like if it's all the fact about real ice cream, it's like they use 100% real ice cream, and on the other hand too, that knowing about that yeah, with the flavoring, they got that they have at least maybe 100 and I would say about 110 if they say that they have 110 choices. It's like they have about 110 choices. It was from what you say one of the pick so far as. Hey, that if you want to have like what you call like vanilla, Farina or anything like that. Anybody would probably ask me that, hey, if you can maybe think of a flavor that more likely that you would think that the ice cream place or any type of grocery store would like to have. I think one of them I mentioned before in the videos I posted a few months ago. I think was Caloberry. I think was Kiloberry. I think it was. But then another flavoring that maybe has something to do with chocolate, could be what he calls like I can maybe pick a name and maybe in random. It's like the Tor, see, the Torlin, Torlin, the Torlin chocolate, the Torlin chocolate. And with this type of chocolate, you're probably thinking about it has about a mix, between caramel, and what you call and then another flavoring of say maybe Hershey's milk chocolate was, but you say but Carlin chocolate. Colorado chocolate, or it could be that what you call is like the rain fan, rain fan caramel or anything like that. Any type of flavors like that. But anyway, that anybody would probably think about that yeah, with it's a type of ice cream it was. It's like which calls like it's like it's my favorite treat and my favorite treat. But and then we could probably think about that yeah, if we want to go ahead and maybe add like what you call is like a swans. It's like we say the swans, chocolate berries, the chocolate bear, and then add it to where that they have like what you say is like a little bear face right here, with the bear face, and anybody probably think about that yeah, with the teddy bear face right here, and then in the center right here will be like what you call is like if you were to eat a type of chocolate, it's like Teddy Perry's flavoring, and then on the center it would be something like what you call is like maybe the apple apple McCarty apple McCarty you say type flavoring is anything maybe related to maybe some coconut touch flavoring it is with coconut, and then of course with raspberry, and of course with the kilo, a little bit color berry, and of course blueberry. But anybody probably think about it, it's like you say a combination it is for really about that particular name for what you give it. But other than that I'll go ahead and add it right here as maybe a little bit of, say, showing if there was actual ice cream and say inside the tub it was. But other than that, too, that you have right here is like with the ice cream, and then knowing about it's like with the Swans Ice Cream it is knowing about that anybody would probably think about if there's any type of delivery, it is with the Swans Ice Cream it is that maybe that they'll have you sign something whenever it's delivered, or have you give you some forms about knowing about for what orders that you want. It's like if you want any type of order, it's like between a box of ice cream and of course like maybe a tub, or maybe say a square corner say of ice cream. And anybody would probably think about if you're gonna be ordering ice cream it was is knowing about the shapes of say of the boxes, of course, that they have it to where maybe a box, anybody probably think about that have right here is a circle round right here, to where like would say the combo you say tub of ice cream that you have right here is the ice cream that you say two different flavors about right here. They got the combo twin type flavors, like you have right there. It's a combination between vanilla and chocolate or anything like that. But other than that, but there you are. It's like for the Swans Ice Cream, let's talk about it. It's like very safe with the coloring activity.